Hello, I'm Hugh. I'm 20 and I go by he, him.
Hi, I'm Yosh. I'm 19 and I go by any pronouns.
Hi, I'm Nate. I go by Hide and I'm 22.
Hi, I'm Embry. I'm 18 and I go by they, she. Parang, it's like high-key sane. Whoever wrote this, you're so real and you're so valid and like same, bro. It's legit.
I am really proud that you were able to have these specific experiences, whether they were positive or negative, that helped you form the identity that you have today. And I think younger self would be very proud that you are in a process of learning to love yourself and that you're not afraid to love yourself.
Your experiences are really valid, and it's nice that you figured out your identity, and it's nice that you feel happier in your body today, in your identity as well. And I hope that you get to feel happier and more proud of yourself in the future.
I really empathize with this person. I feel like what they went through, is very valid. Their journey with their identity. It's something I can really understand, and I could really relate to it in a lot of ways. And I like that they kind of found a place here in Ateneo. And then I love that they mentioned like joy is their way of protest. I think that's a really powerful message to share.
At least for what I wrote, I definitely think some things that I wrote there is applicable to all LGBT youth, because at the end of the day, if we're writing to our younger selves, I think it's still something that a lot of younger LGBT kids would appreciate hearing. Because I bet nung bata ko, if I heard someone say, even just, this wasn't written by me, but if I heard this, I would probably parang just a line of tears. Because it would still mean a lot and it would resonate. And I think we're in an age where representation is being taken away from us. Not just in the sense of media, but in terms of actual tangible lives.
I remembered writing about how lonely it feels, and it still feels kind of lonely, especially with my particular identity, that I don't really have that many other people who I can share experiences with, or people who truly understand where I'm coming from. It's applicable to the LGBT youth of today, na para bang there's at least one other person who kind of feels the same way or has the same experiences. It's nice to know that you're not alone, that what you're feeling is very valid and very much something that other people, even if it's only 1% of the population, feel. And just know that you're not alone in this world. There are people out there who know what you're going through, who know what you're struggling with, and will be there for you no matter what.
Nakakatawa joke.
It's a hard question. I guess it really started in the pandemic, when the rise of the non-binary people in TikTok. You would see them with their clothes, what they were wearing. There was kind of a rise during the pandemic. And I think that was the first time I really questioned myself. I was like, oh, wait, am I really just, gay? Is there maybe something more there? I think that's really what started that journey.
Growing up, there were a lot of signs, so many signs. During early to middle of high school, it just it kind of clicked. Oh, I'm not normal. I'm not the rest of these cis people that are I don't know. And it just started clicking with me. Like when I'd see it online and I'd be like looking into more of the stuff and like, oh, this aligns more with me actually, and like this aligns more with me actually, and then it's just like there was just the whole process of like figuring out what things made sense to me and what didn't, and then in the end it kind of just like settled on me like it's fluid, it's somewhere there in this massive soup. I'm somewhere in there. Pwede na.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty nice sentiment of pwede na.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly.
Okay. Why not? Because why wouldn't you? You know, you have the choice to be kind, to lead with love. So why would you choose to? What's the opposite of empower? Depower.
Depower.
Repress.
Oppress.
Ayun, why
Yeah.
would you choose to do that instead? Because you know, for the longest time, people thought, diba, you could only be male, female, ganun. You can either like guys, you can either like girls. But then, as people got more in tune with themselves, you kind of realize it's not so simple. It's not so black and white. So I think that's what makes it so powerful, because you're allowing people to be themselves, and a lot of people may not understand that, but that's okay. It's like, it's just that you should allow people to be who they are.
I feel like empowerment is really about safety and validation. That like you should be allowed to like just be who you are. And of course, like there are people who really aren't going to understand, but yeah, that's okay. It's not like the end all be all if someone doesn't understand. You can always walk them through it through small steps, or like if they really choose not to understand or choose, I don't know, to be homophobic or whatnot, then maybe you should cut ties with that person. No, we don't cut ties. Empowerment is really about making sure that like people feel safe and validated. It's kind of just like basic human decency, really, to just be kind to each other and all that.
Like, you know those moments of girlhood you feel when you're like, yung nagbanyo kayo, tas like 10 minutes na kayo nandun, nagchichika lang. Tapos di na kayo lumabas, tapos na-late kayo sa klase niyo. Pero okay lang, kasi at least nalaman mo yung ginawa ng ex ni ano sa kanya, gano'n. And parang like, it gives me a sense of community talaga. Parang like, oh shit, I'm a girl.
Para sa akin, it's kind of a joke between me and my friends. Pero yung sinasabi nila sa akin, you're not a homosexual, you're a boy. And, I mean, that part of my sexuality, I'll think about it some other time. But it's more of like, it's just the fact that they were able to just say it so casually and know that I wouldn't be upset with it. I appreciate that my friends are the kind of people na magjo-joke sila about it and affirm me in the same sentence. I appreciate that because I would like to be known as someone who won't really take it personally. Because there's been people in the past na magmi-misgender sila and then they have a lot of explanations about it. And it's okay. I get it. At the end of the day, that people want to like be inclusive and be validating about it. But just for me, I wouldn't need people to like explain all that. Sometimes even just the simple act of making a joke, or even the simple act of like taking back your mistake and just saying the right thing instead makes sense for me. So yeah, I appreciate those little jokes.
I wouldn't say like I'm in a specific community. I'd just say that like my friends in general make me feel like I belong. You know, like even if it's not one big circle, because it feels like I'm in multiple circles of friends, but either way, all of them seem to just affirm my identity and all that. And I guess it helps that like, you know, Ateneans is just very open in general, so like I can just talk to anyone and they'll be like, oh, okay, cool, you're this person, why not?
I guess for me, it's really just like there's not really a community. I mean, yeah, my friends are there. Like, I don't really know anyone else who's like demi-gender ganun. So, I'm kind of just like on my own. And it's like, but it doesn't feel lonely. It doesn't feel isolating. Because like, ayun, I affirm myself. And I don't know, for me that's kind of enough. And I know I'm going to begin on whatever journey I may go on through soon. So, I don't know, it doesn't really matter to me for now.
For me, well, when I started finding out that I was trans, it was the pandemic. So, a lot of the people that became my community were online friends, and more specifically, hindi lang sila galing sa Pilipinas. So, it was from all over the world. I guess the experience of having queer friends who are also from different countries and have varying perspectives from the one you have here in this country was very eye-opening to me, because it really formed the community of, we have this same umbrella label, but we all have such different backgrounds that we are now sharing with each other. I figure out my gender identity with online friends, and then I figure out my sexuality dito sa Ateneo. And that was also kind of a really formative part na sila din yung nagre-reassure na you are here and you matter, and you aren't the only one who is dealing with this, because we are around you and we are people who experience similar things.
For me, it's like when I was discovering myself, it was pandemic rin. So like medyo, it was like kind of isolated. I really found, I guess, my community initially back nung high school, in my orgs nung high school. The people there, well, you know the stereotype of theater people, puro body. So parang we all had those like shared, like we had shared interests and shared passions, and so many of us were gay. Really felt like a community of people na like kahit di nila fully gets, like they understand enough na like, yeah, that's cool, let's chill with everyone. Thus, after high school, well, here now, I've made some new friends, and I've found some people and some communities that I've joined that are like, ang dami pa ring buddy. So like, enjoy pa rin. It's like, yeah, there's queer people everywhere. So I guess the world is my community. Wow.
Yes!
Grabe.